Now we answer the question, does he have lethal this turn? We're at 12, we can go to, or 11, we can go to 12 with the cat. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. Today, we are playing DanyTLaw's deck, and he pushed this bad boy into Mythic number 50, top 100th consistently. So this is one of the new meta decks, you guys. We took a look at Mono Black by Witch, one of the Japanese deck brewers who is absolutely amazing. Such an incredible deck. And it focused around Rotting Regisaur, which is a 7/6, and Demonic Embrace, which gives it flying and +3/+1, so you can just 2-turn your opponent. Plus we've got a whole bunch of chip damage built in with the deck. So that's what it's based around. We took Witch's Mono Black deck and we slammed it together with the Rakdos Sacrifice deck. And it is very powerful, you guys. I didn't lose a match all day. This deck's incredible. Big shout out to Kroxa and DanyTLaw for brewing some of the greatest decks within Magic the Gathering Arena. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. If you've not heard of Kroxa or DanyTLaw, check their Twitch channels out, you guys. I'm going to try to get links in the description below for you guys. Some of the best players within the game. So I really recommend checking them out. With that out of the way, if you find any value within this video today, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and share this video out to a friend. We are taking a look at the deck list in its entirety, breaking down each individual card. What do they all do? Then we're going to get into the deck strategies and synergies. How do all of these individual cards work together to form an operating archetype? Next, we're into today's gameplay footage, where we're going to break down all of the different playlines and interactions within the new Core Set 2021 meta, closing out with our final thoughts, any deck upgrades or adjustments, plans for the rest of the week, etc., etc. So don't forget to watch to the end so you don't miss out on that as well. Getting right into the video though, you guys. This deck starts out with 4 copies of Cauldron Familiar. A 1/1, when Cauldron Familiar enters the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Sacrifice a food, return Cauldron Familiar from your graveyard to the battlefield. 2 copies of Gutterbones. This is a 2/1. It enters the battlefield tapped, however. You can pay 2, return Gutterbones from the graveyard to your hand. Activate this ability only during your turn and only if an opponent has lost life this turn. 2 copies of Village Rites, an instant. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards. 3 copies of Claim the Firstborn, a sorcery. Gain control of target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn. 4 copies of Witch's Oven, an artifact. We can tap it, sacrifice a creature, create a food token. If the sacrificed creature's power was 4 or greater, create 2 food tokens instead. On to our 2 drops, 2 copies of Mire Triton, a 2/1 with Death Touch. When Mire Triton enters the battlefield, mill 2 cards and you gain 2 life. 2 copies of Priest of the Forgotten Gods, a 1/2, which we can tap, sacrifice 2 other creatures. Any number of target players each lose 2 life and sacrifice a creature. You add 2 black mana symbols and draw a card, which is a lot of fun. Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger. This is a legendary creature, a 6/6. When it enters the battlefield, unless it's escaped, you have to sacrifice it. Whenever it does enter the battlefield or attacks, each opponent discards a card. Then each opponent who didn't discard a non-land card this way loses 3 life. The escape cost is 4, 2 black, 2 red, plus exiling 5 other cards from your graveyard. On to our 3 drops, 4 copies of Rotting Regisaur, 7/6. At the beginning of your upkeep, discard a card. 4 copies of Tymaret, Calls the Dead. This is an enchantment saga, so it triggers 3 times when you play, and then on the following upkeeps. The first 2 times, you mill 3 cards, and then you may exile a creature or enchantment card from your graveyard. If you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. And then on your 3rd trigger, you gain X life and scry X, where X is the number of zombies you control. We also have 3 copies of Demonic Embrace and Aura. Enchanted creature gets +3/+1, has flying, and is a demon in addition to all other types. You may cast Demonic Embrace from your graveyard by paying 3 life and its regular cost. These spells are accompanied by 3 Castle Lockthwains, pay 4, draw a card, lose life equal to the number of cards in your hand. 7 Swamps, 3 Mountains, 4 Blood Crypts, 2 Temple of Malice, and 4 Fable Passages. We are playing traditional standard today, which means best of 3. We've got the sideboard here above us, consisting of 2 Soul Guide Lanterns. An artifact, when Soul Guide Lantern enters the battlefield, exile target card from a graveyard. We can tap it to sacrifice it. Each opponent exiles their graveyards, and then we can pay 1, tap it to sacrifice it, and draw a card. 3 copies of Agonizing Remorse. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it or their graveyard, and then you exile that card and lose 1 life. Eliminate instant, destroy target creature or planeswalker with converted mana cost 3 or less. Noxious Grasp, an instant, destroy target creature or planeswalker that's green or white. You gain 1 life. 2 Embers Shieldbreakers, a 2/1 with Battle Display for 1, a sorcery adventure, destroy target artifact. And finally, 2 Scorching Dragonfire is an instant. Scorching Dragonfire deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker, and if it died this turn, exile it instead. So that's the deck list. Let's begin to break down the deck strategy, and then we'll talk about the sideboard strategy after that. This is an aggro deck, so we want to make sure that we're riding that mana curve very aggressively. A turn 1 drop, on turn 2 maybe 2 1-drops or a 2-drop, and then on turn 3 the same thing where we play 3-drop, a 2-drop and a 1-drop, or 3 1-drops. But we want to make sure we're utilizing all of our mana every turn to try to win this game by turn 4 or turn 5. Turn 6 at the longest, because you want to just get in and kill them. However, with that being said, if you can't do it optimally, you still have enough sustainability and chip damage to win some of these games and just claw your opponent down, like the classic cat oven combo does so well, right? So again, in opening hand, I love to see Gutterbones, I love to see Cauldron Familiar and a Witch's Oven. The only 1-drop I don't really care to see in my opening hand is a Village Rites. The only time I like to see this is if it's comboed with Claim the Firstborn. And maybe that's a good place for us to start within the deck, is sacrifice synergies. Witch's Oven is a permanent that stays on your side of the battlefield at all times, and you can sacrifice instant speed with. We have things such as Claim the Firstborn to take our opponent's creatures, and we want to attack with those creatures, and then we want to sacrifice those creatures instead of giving them back to him. So like I said, Witch's Oven can sacrifice creatures, Village Rites can sacrifice creatures, and Priests of the Forgotten Gods can sacrifice creatures as well, which is really nice. So we want to make sure that we have one of these 3 pieces ready to be used before we play our Claim the Firstborn. And then Claim the Firstborn is a dead card if it's against a control matchup, but if it's against another aggro or mid-range matchup, it is a house of a card, especially when claimed or used with Priest of the Forgotten Gods or Village Rites, right? It's just so great to be able to draw. Priest does a little bit more than Village Rites because you draw, he stacks a creature and you gain mana. So Priest is my go-to sacrifice, if not Village Rites. And then lastly, our Witch's Oven. We can use the food from that to do chip damage through Cauldron Familiar. We all know this, right? Every turn you do the oven, get that chip damage and gain 1 life. Rotting Regisaur causes us to discard. So there's a few things that are better to discard than others. Demonic Embrace can be discarded because we can pay life to play it from our grave. Kroxa can potentially be discarded because it has escape, so we can play it from the grave. Cauldron Familiar can potentially be discarded because we can play it from the grave. And then Gutterbones for the exact same reason, right? So there's a lot of cards here that we can play from the grave. So those are going to be the kinds of cards that we prioritize for our discard through Rotting Regisaur or any other of our opponent's abilities that make us do discard. Mire Triton has really good synergy with the deck because we're self-milling, and then we can play our Kroxa from the graveyard through its escape. It also gets all of those other cards we can play from the graveyard into the graveyard originally, which kind of makes our hand bigger, right? So I would rather have a Demonic Embrace in my graveyard that I can pay life to play at any time than on my top deck to draw next turn, you know what I mean? Just the more cards that you have access to, the better. Gutterbones is a great sacrifice for Priest of the Forgotten Gods because, again, you can replay it from your graveyard all the time, which is really, really good. You can instant speed sacrifice Kroxa, so when it's on the stack, you can use your Village Rites or your Priest of the Forgotten Gods or your Witch's Oven to sack Kroxa before he sacrifices himself, which is really, really cool. Again, the main combo does come down to Demonic Embrace, Rotting Regisaur. Make it a 10-7 flyer and just smash your opponent down. Calls of the Dead helps mill us much like Mire Triton, and then that's putting the Demonic Embrace in the graveyard so we can play it more quickly, and then we can also exile things to make those zombies just for general field presence. So there's no Mayhem Devil, sadly. I think Rotting Regisaur and Demonic Embrace is maybe a little bit better, and it just hits harder really quick, whereas the Mayhem Devil needs to be on there consistently for a couple turns, right? So that's the general deck list and deck strategy. As far as sideboarding goes, the Lantern, if you need to get rid of their graveyard, if there is escape, like Uro, Kroxa, things like this, right? If he's using ECD with Planeswalkers to bring back, or it just in general. So anything that you need to get rid of the graveyard, the Lantern is a go-to. Remorse, if it's a control match, I take out my Claim the Firstborns because he's got no creatures for us to take, and then I'll put an Agonizing Remorse and I'll start dealing with his Planeswalkers. Eliminate, if it's a heavy creature-based deck, right? I'll take out Calls of the Dead, put in Eliminate just for more removal. A similar thing with Noxious Grasp and Village Rites, I kind of flirt with taking out a little bit, right? Just so we can really stack removal if we do need it. Ember Shieldbreaker, if it's mirror matches against other ovens or any crazy artifacts that you need to destroy. And then Scorching Dragonfire is great against both Planeswalkers and creature decks as well. So in general, you take out what didn't work in the match and you put in what will work. So as a really good example for that, if he has no creatures, you take out Claim the Firstborn and you put in Agonizing Remorse or something like this to deal with his deck more efficiently than a card that would normally do nothing against the match, right? So there you guys have it. I'm live on YouTube every single day, 4:45 a.m. PST, and then at around 5:45 a.m. PST, we're live on Twitch. And actually no, it's live on YouTube at 5:45 PST, and then live on Twitch at 6:45 PST. I was an hour earlier. Sorry about that. And then we've got the Discord running all day long, so if you have any questions or concerns, or you just want to share your experience with the game that we all love, links for everything is in the description below, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate your continued support. Again, big shout out to DanyTLaw and Kroxa for this sick deck. Make sure to go give him a shout out. Tell him, hello, good game. Says good game, right? So thanks for supporting the channel. Everybody with your time and attention, those of you doing it financially, I really appreciate it. You can do so on Patreon, Twitch, YouTube. The shenanigans are all there. Thanks again. Enjoy today's gameplay footage. Don't forget to watch to the end where we review this deck and let you guys know what we think of it going forward into the future, if we change anything, what we're going to do in the future, etc., etc., etc. So enjoy, take care, and we'll see you tomorrow. Triton is decent field removal because of the Death Touch, and it mills, which could activate our Kroxa. So let's get in there nice and slow. Probably should have passaged first, but, holding on. Why is he doing a discovery with planes? Is there red in there? Right? Like, he should be playing the Phoenixes. Just Esper? I almost, because he's doing that, want to drop on turn... well, no. Let's risk it. We can Mire Triton again. I don't think there's going to be anything to claim. Let's force his removal. Okay. Oh, we milled the Reggie in an oven. That's not good. He has access to things like Cry and Ritual. Kind of sucks for us. Another Discovery. That's fine. He's looking for another Shadow, that means, right? We're going in full control, which I don't even think we need to. And then we're killing our Kroxa to draw cards. That's a double discard. That's nice value this turn. Oh my god, I got the yawns. Sleepy day. Personally, I don't think Regisaur really needs to reanimate just because the cost is so cheap to begin with. Normally, we're reanimating things that are like quite expensive. Does he protect himself from Kroxa? He must. Or he's running Command the Dreadhorde. Yeah. So Mono Black Magic just showcased this deck where you can protect yourself from that, which is deadly. And because he's running Mono or Command the Dreadhorde, we take our creature cards out so he can't take them. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He could drop it next turn for 7. So let's just totally nullify our entire graveyard so he doesn't get any value. He's got an Ashiok he can take. Down to 6, lethal next turn. Should be easy enough. Pretty cool combo, don't get me wrong, but it's easily played around. So, Claim can go. Remorse can come in. I think that's it. So we know what he's doing here as well, which is really good for us. Right, we know he wants to play Root Halo. Command the Dreadhorde. We need to keep our graveyards empty. No red, but we should pull it. Pays life for it. Let's bait him. What could it be? He gets to counter this or let us take it, so he's probably just going to counter it. Oh, interesting. Let's take Thief out. The self-mill's not great here. No creatures, so that's fine. Ooh. So is he pulling Kroxa? It must be. Or the cat? What's he pull? He does take Kroxa. We get a 2/2 zombie. So he's maybe looking to play it with his Ashiok. Let's get Call of the Dead out, start draining our graveyard. Shouldn't we be able to play Gutterbones? Yeah, we can. Let's hold off on that. Let's try to get him in play. He's still a way off from 7, so we can leave them there for now. Yeah, the Ashiok, that's kind of what we were expecting.
Listen to my wit. My kin are delightfully friendly.
We get the kill here, which is nice.
I abandon my work.
He has Tyrant Scorn on our Triton. He's going to kill our Triton here. Gutterbones in tapped. Oven in play. And now we can instant speed play our cat from the graveyard if he's got a Command the Dreadhorde. He's down to 10 though, so it doesn't really work great without Runed Halo. Takes a Bones and a land. Could be worse. And I think we're going to see a Shatter the Sky here. Yeah. Let's pay life for our Embrace. I guess we discard our Trident. That's a big hit, right? Down to 5. We won game 1 already, so this is looking very pretty, especially when he goes for the Surveil 2 draw card. Right? We have the Oven, which will deal damage if he has removal. He must have it. He doesn't, it's game. Yep. Maybe we should have waited for that. Let's get our Gutterbones back into play. And let's get our Priest in the battlefield as well. That should be basically his turn. Put our Bones back into the side. Oh, he double dogs us. And I believe that's game. Just with the Demonic Embrace alone. He's fully tapped. We discard our Regi. And then we smash him. Demonic Embrace is very powerful. The fact that you can replay it. Woof. Playing first, as always. What an honor. 2 Regis on turn 3. We'll keep it. Let's pull a mountain with our passage off the start. Aggressive mulligans. Whew. Love it. Yeah. We have no idea what our opponent's playing, so let's just go back. This is DanyTLaw's list. Absolutely, Doctor. Two swamps, 2 ovens, a cat. Woof. Gruel, hey? Oh, that's actually really good off the start. Something I was not expecting. Claim the Firstborn would have been good. Lots of Gruel. Interesting. You know what beats Gruel? A 7/6. Terror of the Peaks. Woohoo! Sacking our Kroxa. And the fun thing is we can still all attack and he's not doing nothing about it. Rotting Regi. Yeah. This is a risky biscuit turn for us though. Luckily he's down to 7 and we have an oven in play. Oh, gross. Gross, bro. Gonna kill our Triton. Down to 6. We're ready to play our Kroxa. If he plays all his creatures here. Doesn't matter, we have a food already from the Kroxa. Playing our cat down to 5. Oh! What a top deck. Woo! We're just slaying people today, you guys. Thanks to Danny and Crokies for making this deck the other day. Loving it so far. This hand's trash. I mean, we've got our Regis and our Embrace, which is really cool, but we need to top deck 2 land. think that's unlikely. Let's toss our call. Scrolling first for a third land. Oh my lord. This is a stream filled with yawns. Every day I be yawning. Embrace is good, but it's not a land. Let's get this in first, because it'll come in tapped regardless. And I guess we just sadly play our oven. We're gonna play our Reggie right away. Just try to get bigger than him. Hopefully no beast here. Nice. Kills our oven. It's a big hit. What do we discard? Oh my lord, are you serious? That's insane. That's such a good combo. The Guardian costs 2, the Henge gives you 2. Plus you draw another Guardian and a card from it. Wow. We're definitely playing defensively. He's an unlimited creature draw engine. So fucked up. Doesn't even have to pay to adapt it. Very nice. That's a really good combo. I like it. It's so silly. Wow. He could do it infinitely. Until he's out of Chamber Guardians, right? He only has one more to do. A Primal Might? How fun is that? Good game. So we just want to take control of his creatures still and sack them. That's going to be our best bet. We took Embreth to smash out the hedge, which he'll only have 1 or 2 copies of, so that should be pretty easy to deal with, I think. I hope. That was a really nice play by our opponent, the Growth Chamber Guardians, with the Great Henge, because when they adapt, you get another Growth Chamber Guardian. When a creature enters the battlefield, you get to draw another card. So, it's like a double draw for basically free. Same land, so that's kind of lame, but we'll try. Two mulligans, I think. Cat can stay with our oven. Let's get Death Touch out. That cat's nice. Take the ooze. We do lock on land. That's not a good sign. Let's make him discard. Okay, we get rid of one Great Henge. Let's force the discard again. Let's try to eat his hand. We have plenty of life. Yorvo, cool. Let's get Gutterbones in tapped. Oh, there's his third land. Here's a secondary Yorvo. Reggie just outpaces it. He could have a Primal Might and trade. Yeah, so he can adapt for free through the Great Henge because it puts a +1/+1 counter on a creature whenever it enters the battlefield. Nice. Goes to 9 here, or 8. Now we answer the question, does he have lethal this turn? We're at 12, we can go to, or 11, we can go to 12 with the cat. We have enough in the grave. Play our Kroxa next turn as well. Without a Primal Might on our Reggie, I think we win. Or some sort of buff on the Razor or trample on the Guardian. Down to 3. He's at 10. Down to 9 here. We're up to 4. Nothing to discard. Let's make him get rid of that last card in his hand. I don't think that saves him though. Right, we still have lethal here. Cool. Cool. We make our way through. Let's see if we can hold on and win this third match. Let's take our eliminate. Let's scrub Village Rites. Maybe just 2 eliminates. We have an early priest with a claim. This could be good. Nice low converted mana cost hand. Let's see if he plays this Lovestruck Beast or not. Makes sense. I'm fine with Yorbo as well. He's gonna sack his 1/1, which is relatively good for us. Right now, Lovestruck Beast isn't really a threat, and we can put our Reggie out, which is nice, right? Let's attack first. See if he double blocks. Really? That's interesting. Right? Saving our instant speed removal for the double block. That's a nice play. No field presence. He's done. Woohoo! Undefeated, 3 in a row, ripping through Platinum. This deck definitely belongs within Mythic. Alright, DanyTLaw, Kroxa, you guys are banging. This is a sick deck. I've been climbing through rank like a hot knife through butter. Big shout out to Witch as well for the Rotting Regisaur Demonic Embrace combo. Really been enjoying that. When we combo this with Kroxa and all of the chip damage from the sacrifice through Priest of the Forgotten Gods, it just gets overwhelming, let's be honest. Deck upgrade guide, I don't think it needs one. Maybe we can flirt with the sideboard and begin to fine-tune that as we work our way more through the meta and it begins to cement itself. But other than that, this is good to go. Push rank with this. You're going to kill people. As far as the rest of the week goes, we are every day putting out a video with CGB, just a short little snippet. Then we're doing an original deck, and I'm going to be putting out another original piece of content. We did a box opening video We're going to talk about the value of money versus Arena into paper, what the differences are there value-wise, what do you get? So lots of cool things coming up for you guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you're notified of all of our future uploads. Don't forget to do all that shenanigans, right? Take care. Thanks a ton for your support. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Peace!